Coach Cam made this shit.
Greetings, nerds and virgins. I'm Brenden Kron. This is Rex, and welcome to Jammin with Kron Rex,
aka nerd and virgin, or whatever works. It's same either way. they're one and the same for both of us. So a decent amount of shit to cover. People died raging to death. R.I.P. UFC happened last night. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers is taking horse medicine, and
in line about vaccines.
Yeah. But before we get to any of that, of course, the most important part of the podcast, how was your week?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too crazy, other than I've almost hit 2 deer this week.
Yeah?
One, kind of my fault.
I got a vengeance, or?
No. One was my fault. I kind of reached over for my phone.
Yeah.
Just to, grab my phone, and I didn't, look over and reach over, but I kind of just wasn't paying attention enough, and it just slowly walked.
No, that's still definitely that thing's fault. I know you can't sue that deer or claim its insurance, but I mean it's still that dumbass fault.
I would have hit it if you know how usually a deer will just turn and look at you. Yeah, it kept walking. Yeah, and I just got lucky enough that it walked past my car because by the time I slammed my brakes, it was maybe an inch past it, but I was like, holy shit, I would have hit that deer.
I mean, it makes me sad, seeing stuff like maybe a dead dog or a dead cat on the road, because I'm like, oh, maybe they're inside animals. They don't really know what the fuck this is. Yeah. But deer's a part of their lives is basically crossing roads. Yeah. You see, especially, it's probably going to sound country as shit, but I mean, where we're from. If you live in New York and you're watching this, you're like, what the fuck are these yokels talking about?
Yeah.
But for us, that's a normal part of the day is if it's especially when it's morning or night, depending on the season too, you're watch out for deer. When I leave my parents, they specifically tell me watch out for deer. That's where we're from.
Yeah. Mine was just up the road, in Shepherdsville. So at least it wasn't a crazy, I wasn't going super fast or anything. Yeah. But someone I know, this happened a while back, but someone I know said that a deer jumped over the fence of into the fast lane, and they hit it in the fast lane of the highway. Dude. Going 85, 90. Yeah. Just smacked it. And I was and luckily they had a big ass truck so they didn't get too fucked up, but I was
but deer still do some fucking damage
to
a
car, I was
dude.
How crazy. That's the last place. Yeah. Even in, middle of the night. In the fast lane is, I'm good. There's not going to be a deer. Yeah. But,
well, they have horrible instincts. Like squirrels, too. You'll literally watch a squirrel run across the road into safety. Yeah. And then it'll just run back right in front of your car. And you're like, dude, I honestly hope I kill you. At this point, this is going to be better.
You're trying to kill yourself, and... Yeah. I can do it. Just get back in the road.
Birds, seeing them get hit by cars, fucking why?
How? Yeah. How does that?
Yeah, I'm you can fly everywhere. You can fly so high above any cars, but you're just dude, I'm going to swoop right in front of that fucking car. I never understand that. Deer frustrate the shit out of me. They're just, I have genuinely seen a video footage. I know I've seen it. I've sent it to you too. Yeah. But of a train just dismembering a fucking deer. I did not feel at all bad about it.
Yeah, they're just so dumb. I don't understand how, because deer are known as, a smart animal. They're so fucking stupid.
Well, and they're very, on edge, just like most. I mean, there's some wild animals, there's possums that, they're really not. I mean, they might play dead, but, we have a possum that, eats the cat food. Yeah. And you can literally walk out onto the front porch and it'll just look at you and
you can pet it.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, you can probably pet it and it'll just be all right.
I don't care. Yeah. But, deer, if you've ever been near a deer and, you step on a leaf, it's gone. Yeah. It is not taking any chance. But it'll see a 400-ton freight train just speeding towards it and it'll be not move at all, not worry. It's just I don't really care. I'm waiting for death. It's very... my mom, she has hit a deer, and, it was when I was young, so it kind of scared me. Yeah. But, the deer jumped out, and my mom just hit its head. And we was oh, shit. So we... Because it fell over, and we got out. It stood up, and it, stumbled around it just got, rocked or something. Yeah. And then it just fucking took off. I was like, what the fuck? it just, it looked like it just, took a punch from Usman or something. Yeah. It was just All right. It literally looked like Colby last night. And I was like, how the fuck is he still alive?
Yeah,
I was like, God damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, yeah, back from brief little intermission.
Yeah.
But, yeah, don't give a shit when deer get hit. Summary. Basically, the summary of that. Yeah. I kind of wish you would hit it. But...
I'm glad I didn't since I really need my car.
Yeah. But, more so into, like, this happened here kind of thing. Like, because there's a lot of places where people don't really have to worry about hitting deer.
Real quick.
Yeah.
The one that I actually almost hit was like...
Oh, yeah, I forgot you almost hit two.
It was like... It was pretty small. Like, it was a smaller deer. I think it was a... I mean, it was a doe.
You definitely could have took it.
Yeah, like, it wouldn't have, like, totaled my car, probably.
Yeah.
The one that I saw that was, like, crossing the street, and I had enough time to just stop.
Yeah.
But if I wasn't paying attention, I would have hit it. It was, like, the size of a moose. It was the biggest deer I've ever seen, ever. It was...
Was it a moose?
We don't have moose.
Meese.
We don't have
it sounds stupid.
Mice here.
Yeah, it sounds dumb.
Yeah, we don't have, like, that's not here, right? No way, right?
No, that's like Alaska and shit.
Yeah. But no, it was fucking huge. So I'm glad I was at least paying attention for that one, because I think I wouldn't have made it through that one.
Do you remember, like, I think it's like where you get on and off at the Shepherdsville exit, but that the underpass was shut down because there was... Somebody had hit, like, I think it was, like, a group of deer. Like, I think it may have been a couple people that, I think they just ran out into the road. And, like, I remember going to work that day, and I was like, damn, there's nobody, like, coming through. And when I got, I saw, like, because I was still able to get off.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't, like, going through the underpass. I was just, going to Louisville.
So how do you hit a group?
Well, I think they may have just all jumped out at once. Maybe it was a semi or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, dude, there was parts everywhere.
Oh my god!
Like, I thought somebody had just slaughtered a bunch of deer and ran off, and I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" Yeah. Like, I mean, it was everywhere. It was a good way to start the morning. I made me kind of happy. But more back into the shit that happens here. I remember being late to school one day because our school bus hit a fucking horse.
Oh, okay. I was actually going to bring up something from school as well.
Oh god. Oh, I know where you're going.
Yep.
But. Yeah, I lived down a dead-end road, and we was, so, they had to go down there to pick me up, and when we was leaving there, I kind of saw it from a distance, but I was like, no way, right? Like, I saw this horse sprinting from, one side of the field to, towards the bus, and I was like, that thing's getting really close. So, I wonder why it's picking up so much speed, and it just jumps the fence, and it goes right in front of the bus, and the bus fucking nails it, and you just see the horse get hit and slide back 20 feet, and horses aren't small things, so it had to get hit pretty fucking hard. Our bus was definitely speeding. And it just fucking nails this thing. And it's not like when you hit like a coyote or a dog or something, you can't just really be like, all right, well, that kind of sucks, but we'll just go around. Like, it's a horse. If you just continue to go over that thing, you're gonna fuck up your bus.
Yeah.
And so we was just stuck on a dead end, and we ended up being 45 minutes late to school because our bus driver hit a fucking horse. Because, it doesn't matter how many fucking high schoolers you got off the bus, you can't drag a horse off the road. You have to wait for somebody with luckily, of course, because, we live where we do, there was somebody nearby that had a tractor. Yeah. There was 70 people around that had a tractor. Somebody had to get their shit and just basically scoot this dead horse off the road so we could go to school. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? I was like, we just hit a horse. Yeah. And I don't know. I just think of that as the most Kentucky reason for being late to school. It's fucking horse. And you're like, a horse? Yeah, a horse.
Yeah. Something else that happened this week, I kind of forgot about it. I mean, it wasn't eventful, but it's on the same, is that a cow was just standing in my way. And I was like, get out of my way. Dude. And there was nothing I was like, I honked the horn and it didn't move. And I was like,
what?
I was like, okay.
Yeah, you really can't do it. I've been in a situation where an owl is doing that in the middle of the road. It's eating something that died on the road. And like, it's a very narrow road, so I can't really go around without going off the road. So I pulled up till I literally got out of the car to see. I was like, I had to hit this owl by now. Yeah. Like, my headlights are on. I mean, it sees me. My car is that far away from hitting it. And I'm like, what do I do now? Like, it won't move. Yeah. Like, I was honking the horn, and then I get out, and I was like, hey. And it just turns its fucking weird head and looks at me, and I'm like, I don't have anything else. I don't know what to do now. So I could just fucking hit it, but owls are like one of my favorite animals. And it's kind of a shitty thing to do. I mean, I could imagine just enjoying dinner and then somebody pulls up with their headlights right beside me. They're like, hey, get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah. But I remember, I think it was our freshman year, one of the last stories about deer.
It had to be freshman or sophomore.
Yes, it was early because I still had to ride like the bus to school. And that's the reason I know this. Yeah. Is because where all the buses would park, there was a barbed wire fence there.
Did you say barbed wire or barbed wire?
What is it?
Barb?
I think I said barb.
Oh, I thought you said bob wired.
Bob wired?
Yeah, I don't know. That. I don't.
It's not good, but
it makes me think of like a bob haircut. I don't know.
I think I said barb.
You probably did, but I heard bob. I don't have the best hearing.
Bob wire fence. And someone, as a senior prank, took a dead deer and threw it onto the barbed wire fence.
Yeah, I mean, deers are big.
Yeah.
So you know who did it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't find out, honestly, until like a couple years that I started working with this dude, and he was telling everybody, he was like, oh man, we had this good fucking senior. Well, if he was a senior at the time, then
we were freshmen.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I thought we were freshmen. Yes. But I was like, honestly,
I forgot how many grades above us he was.
Yeah, but like I hung out with him after that group after, so like it seems like something they would have done like the year after they graduated, and just like, oh,
yeah, I can definitely see that.
That's why I was like, maybe it's our sophomore, but yeah, I think it's freshman.
Yeah, because he was telling everybody at work this senior prank he did, and he was talking about like he was like, oh, we was on our way to school, and we passed this dead deer, and for whatever reason, this is the thought that came into his head. He was like, hey, let's fucking grab it. So they grabbed it, throw it in the back of this dude's truck that they're taken to school, and they get to school I think they was early because, I mean, if you know who we're talking about, these are definitely people who are not early to school.
No, but they had to be.
Yeah, like I'm surprised it was before second period before they got to school. These are not good kids. And
no good kids are taking a dead deer and throwing it.
Well, no good people are like going somewhere and they're like, oh, something dead, let's do something with it. You know, like that's not a decent human being. Yeah. Dude's funny as shit.
Yeah.
You got to question morality when they start doing shit like this.
And where it was, once you walked out, you had to walk by it to get into the school.
Yeah, because because you walked in double doors going into school, and I think between the barbed wire fence and the school, like it was probably about 15, 20 feet.
Yeah.
And everybody got there at the same time, so people was just beside each other. And then beside all of us is just this dead deer just hanging out on the fence. And because I remember he was describing that, and I was like, wait, I don't fucking remember that. I was like, that was you? I should have known it was this dude because he had been big for years, and it obviously had to be a pretty big guy to do this shit. Like, even two people. That'd be even difficult, two people picking up a dead deer. And, it's not like it was like a little calf or like a dead possum or something. Like, it was a full dead deer that they just picked up and just alley-ooped onto the fence. Yeah.
But
just more Kentucky shit.
How was your week?
Not bad. I mean,
anything eventful?
I mean, kind of with shit like that. One of my worst hatreds actually came.
Oh, no.
Now, before I never really had a reason outside of convenience, but now, I do, I guess more so to be cautious of this instead of hating it, but I think it only just amplifies my hatred.
Yeah.
I was on my way to work, and I never really think anything about it, but I was between two semis. Yeah. And they're my girlfriend, she gets kind of anxious whenever she's between two trucks, semis. I mean, I get it.
I usually just try to speed through it.
Yeah, I never really think the only time it's truly made me anxious is if it's raining. It's raining really hard, and because my car is rear wheel drive, so it doesn't do good in rain anyways, and I'm just worried that at any point I could just hit I could just hydroplane and go under.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I don't really worry. like, you know, I've had moments where a semi will maybe not see me, maybe I'm in their blind spot, and they'll start merging over. I honk my horn, they go back over. That's it. You know, it kind of is like a second of like, oh my God, I hope they see me, but you get over it. This is not one of those times.
Oh shit.
The truck on my left starts going into my lane. I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, oh, I'll just honk. Dude will get back over. He didn't. You know, I was flashing my lights. I was honking. Yeah. I was laying on the horn, but he kept going over. And so I had to slam on the brakes to get out because, you know, obviously couldn't like pull like a Tokyo Drift and go under the truck beside me or speed through. Yeah. So I had to slam on the brakes, and like the dude kept getting closer. So I had to get over. And when I did that, the semi tires to my right, scraped down the entire side of my car.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I mean, luckily that's all it was. Cause I mean, those tires were bigger than my fucking car. So if I hadn't hit the tires, then I probably would have went under. So, I mean, it knocked like my side mirror off and shit. And like it scraped some paint off. Luckily, that was all that happened.
Yeah, that's definitely
the best case scenario outside of just, you know, not getting hit. But yeah, and then I kept trying to wave the dude over. Like I was honking, I was flipping my lights, but he probably doesn't even know what just happened. So he's probably just like, oh, fuck that dude. He's just mad because I cut him off.
Yeah.
So I called the cops because I was like, hey, I was just kind of involved in a hit and run. This dude didn't pull over, and he's just gone. Yeah. And they're just like, okay, we'll just file a police report. And I was like, I see him. He's in front of me. And I was like, you want me to just file a police report? She was like, yeah, we'll just send you to somebody. You can talk to them. I was like, okay. I was like, the criminal's in front of me.
Yeah.
You know, like I know it's not as intense as like somebody robbing a bank, but I just couldn't imagine calling the cops. Like, hey, there's a murderer at our house. Yeah. They're just like, all right, we'll send a police report over for you to file. And they're just, what? No, he's here. He just fucking shot my husband. But yeah, so whenever I was on hold for like 15, 20 minutes, and I was like the dude was long gone. Like I was able to see what exit he got off. I was able to look up the truck and see what company they worked for. Like I did their job for them. All I needed to do was talk to somebody.
Yeah. And
so after that, like 15, 20 minutes, I was like, fuck it, dude.
Yeah.
I don't even care right now. So I just waited till I got to work, filed a police report and shit. I think that was Monday. That was a good way to start the week, by the way. I haven't heard anything since.
Nope.
No. So I've never been in a situation like that. No. I guess I called my insurance next, but I was just like, so what now? Like, do I file a police report again or file a complaint against it? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're all right.
Hell of a way to start the week, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I've always known I hate truck drivers. It's nothing new.
Yeah.
I don't think this even made me hate them more. I already hated truck drivers like pretty thoroughly. So now I'm just like, I figured this would happen. They suck.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, something else that kind of made me think of was like, you said you were very obviously driving and you called the cops while driving and you continued to drive.
Oh yeah. Like I got their license plate and everything.
Yeah. Well, I've always heard that being on your phone while driving is illegal. So, like, in theory, they'll be like, well,
you're going to jail.
Yeah.
So, what's your location? You're like, why? We got your ass, buddy.
Like, right? Like, but I looked it up, and it says, like, in our state, texting and driving is illegal. But it doesn't say...
Yeah, I think, like, you can still, like, make phone calls and stuff.
It says texting or sending emails, which is funny that they were like, look, if we don't include this...
People are going to do it.
People are going to send emails.
I wasn't texting. I was sending an email.
Yeah. But
I know you always see those stupid like adages to things like even if you get like batteries and it'll say like don't eat and you're like I was like your first thought is always like why would they fucking put that like that's so dumb but if they put that you know there's a reason why.
Yep, I always think about that. Like coffee, it's like
at caution. Are you thinking the McDonald's one?
Yep, because a suit over it.
Yeah. In all fairness, I think it was like out of like the normal range the temperature to where it did burn them, but like you spilled it on yourself. You know, like I don't like you know.
I mean, they got money. Good for them getting paid for it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, McDonald's really doesn't notice. You know, they're like, I don't care. Get that. Fucking yokel, however much money, we don't really care. We'll make it back in no time.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. You always see stupid stuff like that, and you're just like, what dumbass did it? But then in the back of my head, I'm like, there is a dumbass somewhere who's done it.
Yeah.
You know, like, don't apply to skin in your, like, it's like you just bought like bleach, and you're like, yeah, but obviously people have done that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, before we get too far away from it again, because for whatever reason, our Songs of the Week segment is very sneaky.
Yeah.
It tends to get away from us every single time.
Okay. So mine's a little weird.
Oh, so to answer your question, not good. I mean, I guess not a good week if that's the only thing I'm telling.
Yeah, that's the only eventful one.
Yeah.
You said not bad, and then
I went to a wedding yesterday, which was pretty fun. You know, I never expect to
bad start
have
of the
fun
week
when I go out.
Bad start of the week. Great.
Yeah.
Good end of the week.
Came home in time to watch a pretty good fucking fight card. I thought I was going to miss it. If I did, oh well. But like, you know, preferably I'd like to see that too.
I was glad you were able to
night out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Song of the Week.
Okay, so mine is "How Do You Want It" by Tupac.
Oh wow.
It's not an artist that I usually listen to.
Yeah.
But I saw someone listening to what's probably this or the other one was going to be my song of the week because they're my favorite Tupac songs. Ambitions of a Rider.
Yeah.
I saw someone just jamming it out, had a big fat fucking cigar, smoking it with like a convertible drop top. Like
I'm picturing Shannon Sharp.
Sure.
Okay.
But like I drove by
not because they were listening to Tupac in a convertible. I was picturing more of the cigar thing.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to sound like, oh, it's obviously a big black guy.
But yeah, they were just like jamming out to that, and I was like, fuck yeah. I was like,
wait, like you saw a video?
No, like I drove by someone doing that. I was like,
is that why you hit a deer? It's because he's like, damn, that dude's cool.
That dude's cool as fuck. But no, I was just like,
Insurance is watching this podcast very close right now.
It made me kind of like want to go back and listen to that kind of like Tupac and stuff because I was like, that's not someone that I really listen to, but I don't dislike them. And going back and listening to Tupac, I actually like it a lot more than I used to.
Yeah,
and that's probably my favorite song from him.
You don't have to tell me more specifics. Was it a white person?
No,
I didn't think so. Well, especially because like where we live. Like, if we lived in New York, I might be like, oh, yeah, that could be white or a black guy. Yeah. But, like, not here. Not my town. Yeah, if he was like, yeah, they had some Garth Brooks on, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't have too many Tupac songs on my phone.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I used to be really against, like, old school West Coast. I hated it.
Yeah,
I was always like I liked Biggie, but I didn't like Tupac.
Isn't Tupac from New York?
I don't know.
Like I thought he was born there, and then maybe like a year or two later moved out. I mean, I know that's not like just because you're born there. That doesn't mean like, oh, this is my rap style.
It's kind of like saying like Kanye's not from Chicago.
Yeah, because
he wasn't born
there.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
but like he is. That's where he's from.
Yeah. I get that.
But yeah, even if he's not from there, it's very West Coast music.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought about it and I was like, well, I've been listening to a lot of like YG lately and stuff, and I'm like, I love that West Coast style. I don't know why I haven't went back and tried the older West Coast. So
is YG, is that like G-Funk? You know what I'm talking about? 'Cause I know like Snoop kind of popularized that, but I didn't know if he followed into that. Yeah. I don't know if I'm just thinking this because he's from LA, but
maybe. I also kind of gotten a new appreciation for Dre. Like I've always like
Dre,
like Dr. Dre.
Yeah, in this context,
yeah. Like I've always like thought of him as like a goat, but like seeing more of his seeing that like he's on this song, his production's on this, like I'm like holy shit, like, this dude is just
dude's genuinely like a founding father.
Yeah,
like he may have not been NWA may have not been the first ones to venture into it, but I mean like their influence spread out, especially Dre, probably more than the others, honestly. Because I mean, you know, you could talk about who he's found. I mean, even his headphones. Yeah, his headphones were a pretty big pop culture thing. Like I remember winning Beats. You know, but
I'm pretty sure he produced the song that like is one of the major samples for "To Pimp." Like on Tupac's album, I'm pretty sure he produced that song. Yeah, and it's like that's crazy to think like. He kind of is like one of the bigger reasons for To Pimp a Butterfly as well.
Yeah. You talk about the influence over Kendrick, obviously the founding of Eminem.
Yeah.
Who in turn found 50 Cent.
Yeah.
All of his production. I mean, even his albums, even stuff that's his are pretty fucking crazy. But
just new appreciation for it.
Yeah, I'd say I think I might have like 3 songs from Tupac on my phone.
Yeah.
Hit 'Em Up.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best starts to a song anywhere, diss or not.
Yeah. Saying
that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. I mean, I would love to hear that, and then it just rolls into an Adele song. like it works so well just because, you know, what he's talking about. But I would just love to hear that, and then it's just Ed Sheeran just flowing. But Hit 'Em Up, Brenda's Got a Baby, and I Get Around.
Yeah.
I think I Get Around's probably my favorite from him. It's just so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, just talking about, like, just being a slut.
Yeah.
I just think it's so fun.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of something else. Oh, yeah, because that kind of reminds me, like, I don't know, while we're talking about, I guess, more specifically, like, West Coast rappers, I have been finding myself, like, deleting, like, a decent amount of, like, specifically Schoolboy Q.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is, because, like, I don't hate Schoolboy Q, but, like, I think I'm just starting to find that, like, some of the things... what's his Setback and Tribulations and stuff? Like, it has, like, Hands on the Wheel, Birds and the Bees.
Yeah. I just went back and listened to, this week, I went back and listened to Oxymoron.
Oxymoron's still good.
Phenomenal. Loved every song.
Yeah, like, I honestly just deleted Studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just kind of, I don't know. I just don't really care for it.
Yeah.
I still love Gravy. According to Apple Music, Gravy's my favorite song of all time.
Yeah.
It has been in my top 100 of the year, every year since it came out.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. But yeah, I don't know why. I mean, I like Schoolboy Q, like the songs I really
like in West Coast as much.
Maybe there's the sounds kind of getting old. I don't think I have anything from Crash Talk anymore.
Yeah,
which I know.
Oh my god, I think Dangerous might be like top 10 best songs from him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I just haven't really been listening to it that much. And whenever it comes on, I'm like, man, I always skip it when it comes on, and like I'll just get rid of it. But like, I still have like Oxymoron on my phone. Like, I think there may be a couple songs I don't have on there, but overall, that's still like, is it?
Yeah, it's up there,
right up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did crazy with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I kind of felt bad about that because it's not like one of the artists that like I kind of find joy in getting off of my phone like R. Kelly. Like, it's not like I'm deleting it because How do you feel about that? Like, listening to artists who are shitty people. Like, do you have a separation between artists and their personal life, or
I don't know.
Or does it depend on what happens to where you're just like, okay, I can no longer separate this? Because I feel like if I'm listening to it, then it's supporting
R. Kelly. Kelly's the good example in that.
Well, that's an interesting case because he doesn't own his masters.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, so he's not getting his shit. So, do you think it's still good to listen to? Like, you still think it's okay?
I don't think it's necessarily wrong. I mean, he's not getting I don't know. He's not getting any of the money, so it's like I can see it from both sides. I personally don't have any on it. I didn't really listen to R. Kelly like that anyway, so it wasn't hard. Yeah. There was only Remix to Ignition, really the only song that was on my phone, and then like Trapped in the Closet, like the whole like thing together.
Because of American Dad, you know what episode I'm talking about.
The Trapped in the Closet episode.
I really wanted to listen to it, but I was like, I felt like I would put myself in a moral conundrum because I was like, if I play it, it's not like people are going to be like, dude, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I felt weird about it, and I didn't know if I was making too much out of it. Because I'm like, well, I mean, at least I could tell myself he's not really getting paid from it. He's already being tried and, like, you know, prosecuted and stuff. So, like, it's not like my listen's going to bail him out, but I still feel like deep down you're, like, supporting that person.
Yeah. So it is weird because, like, I've obviously made, like, the big, like, none of his music's on my phone. I'm deleting all of it. It's all gone. But then, like, I listen to mostly rap music. Like, there's definitely some of the people who have, like, went to jail over murder, but I'm like, it's just what it is. Like,
like, where do you draw the line?
Yeah, like, you know? It's just one of those things where, like, I don't know why, like, and, like, I don't have, like, even, like, I noticed that, like, I have, like, a Chris Brown song on my phone, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Like why do I have this? It's like, this isn't better than those songs that I deleted from someone else. So it's like, it's weird that I have these moral stands with some artists, but then some artists I'm just like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah, like I got rid of all of X's songs. I always stumble when I'm about to say his name because I don't know if I want to say X's or XXX or just because I don't really. I don't know if I'm ever saying it right when I say XXX Tentacion.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it, but I don't know. It's just I have to pause whenever I'm about to say it. But at first, whenever that happened, I was like, oh, well, it hasn't been proven. And then literally, like, everything came out about, like, even, like, like, a phone call to the point where you really couldn't deny it anymore. Like, he didn't get tried. But, I don't know, it kind of got to the point, it kind of overlapped to where I just really wasn't listening to him. So I was like, it's not really upsetting me if if he, like, to delete all this shit, you know? But, I mean, the dude's not alive anymore. So it's not like you're really supporting him in an active way, but I don't know.
That's another weird one of like, because didn't he just hit a pregnant woman? Not just, but he hit a pregnant woman. But like, we just talked about murder and trafficking. And like, it's one of those things like, you can't be like, I'm never going to listen to this again because of the moral reasons. Yeah. If you're just like, I just don't like it, it is what it is. But if you're like, moral reasons, I'll never listen to that, it's hard for you to be like, but I still listen to Chris Brown. Yeah. Like, that's
you could argue he was defending himself.
You could, but then do you have Rihanna music on your phone? Yeah. Like,
honestly, I've been deleting some of her stuff too, like Pour It Up. I was like, why do I have Pour It Up on my phone? Like, I'm obviously going to keep stuff like from Auntie.
I keep like, all of Auntie just about. I think all of it, actually.
Not Work. Work's on there, right?
Yeah, I like this song.
Work just kind of got on my nerves after a little bit. Like, it's just...
I had the opposite feeling. I hated it when it came out. I thought it was awful. Yeah. And then now it's just like, it's fun. Like, I just have fun with it.
Yeah. I don't have any fun listening to it now. But no, like, I'll obviously keep stuff like that and Bitch Better Have My Money. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. Because, like... I mean, I never liked his music anyways, but I mean, like, with 6ix9ine. Yeah. Because, I mean, like, I don't know if he actually got, I think he did, like, have, like, get into some trouble for, like, doing stuff with a minor. Yeah, I don't. Or something like that.
So, I've also heard the defense of, like, he was 17 or 16. Yeah. Or just 8. Like, he was still young when it happened, and they were young, but younger. Yeah. And it's like, I just don't know, but... I just don't like his music, so
it kind of worked out because, like, I heard people play his music, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, he seems like a annoying, shitty person, and he makes annoying, shitty music. So I was like, I have no trouble. Like, I'm not going to lose any sleep being like, well, how do you separate an artist and their music? I'm like, I don't care. I'm not, even if he was a great person, I'm not listening to his music. Yeah. But the more relevant ones that I'm thinking of is, like, Marilyn Manson.
Have you deleted their music?
Honestly, I haven't been listening to Marilyn Manson that much anymore. But, I mean, I'm seeing more and more things about, like, people coming out and, like, describing in detail shit that he's done. Really? His record label dropped him. Mm. So it kind of has to be getting to a point where it has serious, like, leg behind it, you know? So, yeah, whenever shit like that happens, you have to know there's, like, some seriousness behind it because, I mean, a lot of the times you'll see record labels, like, wait until, like, they're going to lose money from keeping him because there's so much shit against him.
At least, because I haven't kept up with it, but the scenario that you just said, it really reminded me of, like, Deshaun Watson. Yeah. On a different, kind of relative. But, like, when it first all was happening, Deshaun Watson's lawyers made the comments of, like, this is a strategy that people use. They're going to team up. Like, they're going to have numbers. Yes. Don't believe it. And so, like, for a really long time, I was kind of like, yeah, and then like once that was happening, I was like, yeah, that's right. But now I'm like, it's not a strategy. You're a piece of shit. And then kind of with Marilyn Manson, his team was like, he fits the part. He looks like this is what happens.
Well, and that's what makes it so much more rough on him. Because I mean, there was people who's talking about even before that they didn't really respect him because they were saying like. How he went on stage and, like, cut himself on stage. Mm-hmm. And they're like, yeah, you can try to look, like, edgy and hard and shit, but, like, that's really bad message. Like, that's an intentionally bad message. Like, to people... I mean, people who listen to Marilyn Manson are probably in that boat anyways for the most part. But, like, for them to see someone that like some people look up to just go on stage and cut themselves. Like I couldn't imagine seeing like LeBron James just walk onto the court and cut himself. I'd be like, what the fuck? I'm going to do that.
You know, is that how I get good at basketball?
Like if I see that at 8 years old, I'd be like, all right, it's my turn. You know, we go play ball for Parks and Rec. I just walk onto the court.
Yeah.
All right, let's get it.
But yeah, it's hard. Sometimes it's really, there's a really fine line on like where you draw it. And I think that it's just, because it'd be weird to just be like, any person that's done anything shitty, don't listen to their music. Because you cut out a lot. Like you really do.
Especially listening to rap. I mean, dude, there's a lot of artists in general that have troubled past.
Yeah.
And
like, where do you separate the line of like, it also comes into the exact same scenario of like, when do you forgive someone? Yeah. That's also how I look at it.
Yeah, like Mark Wahlberg. I think we actually talked about it last week. I am on Mark Wahlberg's ass. I hope he never finds out about it.
But yeah, like it's one of those things.
I am of Asian descent. I don't think he'll be a fan of that. I think he already has it out for me.
But like X is someone that like it seemed like he was moving in the direction of trying to make up for it. He was trying to do better things. He was trying to be a better person.
It's hard when they don't do it. We'll address that specifically.
Yeah.
When they're just like, they try to do things to make you see them in a better light, but not address what it actually is. Like, it helps if you talk about it. Like, if you say what it was, like what happened.
But does it?
I mean, I think in the long term it does, because I think you're going to have people that it's just like, dude, you're just doing this as a ploy. Like, you're not actually doing anything. You're not trying to make this up with her. You just want people to see you better, even though you're not better.
Yeah. But like, he was someone that I was like, I feel like, at least from what I can see, because I don't know any of these fucking people personally. I don't fucking know any of it.
Yeah, disclaimer, we have no idea these people are talking about. We never knew.
Yeah, and so like,
on the same topic of separating artists between their music, I mean, I consider this more of an actor anyways. I didn't even know he was a musician until like a year or two ago. I didn't know Jared Leto was kind of a weirdo.
Oh, really?
I mean, I knew he was a weirdo, but I didn't know he was like a legitimate, like, moral weirdo.
Really?
Yeah, because I mean,
happened?
You hear shit about like him sending like dead rats to like Margot Robbie during my least favorite portrayal of the Joker. I was like, you're going to do all that crazy shit. You better perform like Heath Ledger. You know, like this better be a career defining role. While, you know, this is kind of seen as like the worst live action Joker. And like, I don't know. Yeah. I haven't seen too many of Jared Leto shit. I saw him in chapter 27, I think, about John Lennon's execution, because the fan who read Catcher in the Rye, who said he was inspired by it. But yeah, apparently the dude like legitimately like runs cults, and I don't have a problem with that. But even people have been recently discussing it, because they're like, well, why are all these people getting in trouble for shit they do, but somehow Jared Leto is able to escape? And I was like, what the fuck's going on? Mm-hmm. And even like Dylan Sprouse, I think, I can't remember if it was Dylan or Cole Sprouse, but one of the Sprouse brothers tweeted and said, hey, so after DMing every single girl between the ages of 18 and 25, was you able to finally get one to say yes? Weird call out. I don't know why it happened like that. And James Gunn responded and he said, oh, I didn't think he stopped at 18. And then a bunch of people started tweeting about like his past allegations from like underage people about him being weird with them. Former sex workers talking about like whenever he was dating Cameron Diaz. I didn't know he dated Cameron Diaz.
No.
But like them like sex workers feeling uncomfortable with the stuff that he asked them to do while he was in a relationship with Cameron Diaz. They said it was like really dark, weird shit. He didn't really respond to people being uncomfortable in sexual situations, and he kind of just did what he wanted to.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah. I mean, that's as much as I know. I just kind of read an article one night, and a lot of the comments were pointing towards the same thing, but I was like, I had no idea. Like, I mean, he genuinely has been slipping through the cracks.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I didn't know that, but I mean, obviously it sucks for other people, but I don't really listen to 30 Seconds to Mars anyway, so I was like, I'll delete every single song. It'll take me literally like You see that? I already deleted all the songs from 30 Seconds to Mars.
I think I have one song.
Yeah.
Maybe two.
But. Honestly, I haven't really ventured into their music. It's not like, I've listened to everything from them and I hate them. Yeah. And I genuinely haven't really cared to listen.
They have a couple good songs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I was genuinely surprised when I found out that was Jared Leto. Same. I was like, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So...
Oh, and his role in one of my favorite, Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does amazing in that.
So, Suicide Squad was the first movie I've ever seen that he was in that I didn't like. And I still kind of like that movie. I think it's really entertaining, but I don't love it.
Yeah.
But every movie I've ever seen with Jared Leto in it, not because of Jared Leto, but I've always loved those movies.
Yeah, he's usually a pretty good part. Like,
Fight Club.
Yeah. I forget that. Holy shit.
Yeah, and then I was going to say Fight Club and Dallas Buyers Club. Yeah, so it's on the same thing. What do you think about that? Will you boycott movies?
See, I don't know how that works in terms of movies.
So we're also, if you want to switch it, Baby Driver. Will you ever watch it again?
I haven't. If that says anything.
I haven't either, but I don't go back and watch movies very often.
Yeah, I'm not big on that. Like, it's not like it was in my weekly rotation, and I was like, man, now I got to cut it off. Like, I watched it beforehand. I never watched House of Cards, which is kind of his big thing.
Yeah. I loved the movie 21. Yeah. The Blackjack movie.
Yeah.
I loved it, but I haven't.
7? He's in 7, too, right? With, like, Brad Pitt.
I don't know.
It's like the...
I know the movie, but I don't know if he's in it.
Yeah, because I think he's the guy, like... I can't remember what the term's called, but like whenever he's making up stuff and he's like seeing things around him and he's saying like if I was just to say like, oh yeah, the dude's name is Printer Machete.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird combination of stuff, but honestly, out of all the stuff in this room, that's probably one of the more tame combinations I could come up with. It's very weird in this room, but yeah. And so with movies, I don't know because it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his performance, but it's not his thing. Like, I think it would still be hard, even if it was like, it turns out Quentin Tarantino is a big piece of shit. Like, it'd be kind of easier to be like, all right, well, I'm not going to theaters watching a dude's movie, but it's not just him. It's the actors that you're watching it for. Yeah, but at a certain point, you're like, well, if they knew and they're not saying anything, should you even support them? Like, so... It's weird territory because like especially with because Jared Leto didn't direct a movie. He's not in most of the movies I watch. Right, he's not even the main part.
No,
except in Chapter 27. So it's kind of, but with a singer or an artist, it's like their work. You know, obviously it could be co-written by people, but it's not like a director. You know, so. I think it's easier to hold a singer songwriter accountable by not listening to their stuff than it is like one person who had a side role in a movie to just like not watch the entire movie anymore.
Some of them get percentages of the movie though. Like Black Widow got a percentage of her sales.
Yeah,
Scarlett Johansson, not Black Widow.
I thought you were just about to tell me she's a piece of shit. And I was like, oh my god!
No, but I'm just saying that's an example.
I'm so glad it's a woman this time. White men, we're not doing good. I mean, overall, we're doing pretty well. But allegations, we're like 0-20.
Yeah,
we're like the whatever year Adam Morrison was drafted into the NBA. We're like the Charlotte Bobcats that year. Yeah, we're doing awful.
Yeah, but. Yeah, I mean, like, you see that, like, she got a percentage of a movie. Yes. If someone, like, say Jared Leto got a percentage of a movie, then would it be a part where you're like, okay, I really just cannot watch this movie? It's just a weird...
It's difficult. It's a really weird situation.
It feels case by case, too. Every single person's different.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of hard. I don't think... I think it's kind of weird to not watch Dallas Buyers Club anymore just because Leto... Now, if it was Matthew McConaughey, I feel like that'd be a little different...
Yeah,
but I still don't know how far that goes. Because I mean, I guess Kevin Spacey is a good example because he's a lead in a decent amount of the stuff he's in.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It's hard.
That's a rough one. It's not like if I saw someone watching, I'm like, oh, you're watching your piece of shit. Like, I mean, I kind of get it. Like, it's you know. But I mean, Kevin Spacey is. I mean, is he doing time right now?
I have no idea.
I have no idea on the follow-ups. I always hear about the delivery, but never the follow-up. Like when Apple got sued.
Yeah, well, usually what happens is something big happens, and then they'll pay enough money to draw it out forever, and then they'll get dropped on everything, and then so you just
and then by then the news cycle has went on to something else.
Yeah,
like because I remember when it was big news that Apple was getting sued for them like actually being tried for them intentionally tampering older models.
I thought you were going to talk about the newer lawsuits that have went through, like them not allowing Fortnite. I
didn't know that.
Yeah, so Epic Games is suing them because they're like, you have to sell our fucking game.
Yeah,
but,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's
funny.
That's the new big one.
I stand by them with that one.
It is funny just to be like, no, we're not selling your game because fuck you.
Yeah, because we just don't feel like it. I don't think it's crazy that they can't. I guess they're not like a private thing to where they can just be like, no, it's only people we want to. But that does just sound like a bad idea. Like, I mean, I know like Call of Duty has online like mobile stuff, and like 2K does. I'm like, who the fuck is doing this? Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
But I never hear about the follow up. Like what happened? Yeah. Like what happened in that lawsuit? I'm assuming some settlement happened.
Usually,
and it got swept under the rug. They're like, "Cool, we're done. You're never allowed to talk about it again."
Yeah, you spend millions of dollars on your lawyers. They spend millions of dollars on their lawyers, and then you just drag it out as far as possible. And
but
then
it had to be somebody with like some background or like some position of power, because there's no way it was like David from White Castle who just sued all of Apple for everybody.
Yeah,
like. Yeah, I don't know, but I got more related. But my song of the week, it's one of the songs that I have heard like thousands of times, but for whatever reason, this week, it was just like it came on in the car. I sung every bit of it and replayed it. Like I've heard it thousands of times. I've liked it every single time, but this week, like I don't know why. It just, but it's Rocket Man by Elton John.
I actually heard that song this week, and I didn't do it to the extreme, but I was like, man, I don't listen to this song enough. Like that was the thought that went through my head. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's just such a good song.
I sometimes forget just how good it is.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. I'm a big fan of Elton John's, I guess, more popular work. I don't know all of Elton John. It's kind of like
the more I know about
Prince,
him, the more I like him. Like, hearing Young Thug talk about him has made me like him even more.
Well, hearing everybody's interactions with Elton John, it just always seems great. Like he always has good things to say about people.
Him asking when Guwap's getting home to Thug is just wild. Like you would never think that man would say that.
Yeah, you just always hear cool stuff to the point where like he even held like. He said, like, working with Young Thug, like, he holds him in high esteem. Like, he's, like, up there with, like, the Bob Marleys and stuff. Like, he's like, this dude knows what he's doing. To where I'm like, if this guy says something, like, I value it. Like, that's why, like, whenever he said if, like, Phoebe Bridgers doesn't win something, he will assault somebody. And I was like, dude, I don't know the relationship, but I know if I just heard that and he said if Roy doesn't win something, he's going to assault somebody, I would feel amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that would honestly, like, be worth, like, hanging up as a plaque somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you do that, but I would.
Did you ever see when Jay-Z tweeted about Mac Miller?
Not bad for a white guy or something like that?
Something like that? Yeah, he had that tweet.
Yeah, something like that then.
That's what I was thinking. Like, you'd have that. Because I've always thought that was cool. Like, that's how I feel. Like, if someone that cool would, like, tweet at me, like, in, like, super high regards, it's like, yeah, I'd have that shit on the wall. Like,
yeah. But so it's that. I think that's my favorite song by him. Sacrifice is up there too, but
Sacrifice might be my favorite.
Yeah, Elton John is the fucking man.
He's really good.
But what we was wanting to go into next, and something I just found out from our little break. So obviously you heard about the Astroworld thing. I think eight people died.
Passed away, and apparently hundreds. And hospitalized.
Yeah, and multiple, with tons of injuries. So, I mean, that sucks hearing. It definitely sounds like it could have been avoided. There was kids there. Like, I think one of the people who passed away were as young as 8 or 10.
Yeah, I heard 10. But
what are they doing there?
It's not.
I mean, I don't know who that falls on. I mean, it's obviously not the kid's fault that they're there, but, like, I mean, is it the parents' fault that they're there? I mean, I don't. I mean, are they there by themselves? Like, how the fuck does that happen?
Yeah, so that's where it is weird. Is like it definitely seems like these people are by them, like these kids are by themselves. But at the same time, it's like you're going to a concert that doesn't serve alcohol.
I didn't know it didn't serve alcohol. I mean, it does change it a little bit. It's
I'm
not
assuming,
like...
No way that a 10-year-old was there and they're serving alcohol.
Well, I mean, maybe you go through like
flog
line or something. Yeah.
So
I mean, they could have been. Okay, I didn't know if you saw something specifically that was like no alcohol.
But like same as like Flognall, how they had like a section for you had to get carded and everything.
Yep.
But like they could have had that. So like
I don't even know if you could. We couldn't bring it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You had to be in that little bitty section. So I mean, they should be in a decent environment.
Yeah, I was like, I would say because that's my biggest experience with a festival,
and that was a festival as well.
In all fairness, it's a pretty big one. I'm not too familiar with that scene, so I don't know how it's done usually.
Yeah, but I can only assume that seemed like the standard.
Yeah. So I don't know who responsibility falls on, but since then I've seen stuff like like when I say since then, I mean literally when we just had to take a break because our
everything died
this week. So they posted a video of him apologizing, and people are kind of criticizing him because like the entire time he's like rubbing his head and like doing this stuff. Yeah. Like they're like, oh, you look real upset. You look like a fuckboy the entire time you're addressing it. But this tweet says, Travis Scott, the same dude who left his former manager for dead while they was having a seizure in the studio. I for one am shocked. And somebody quoted it and said the same dude who encouraged a fan to jump from a balcony into the crowd and then and they became paralyzed. And there's like videos of like from the Astroworld Fest that just happened of Travis Scott's like high up in the air performing, and this person's getting resuscitated, and he just continues to perform. Like people that was there said he did stop it multiple times to like I guess kind of address the crowd. But he ultimately didn't stop. Yeah. Like, at a certain point, you kind of just have to realize you got to stop.
Yeah.
Because, like, people was talking about, like, how back in the day, Kurt Cobain canceled an entire show because he saw one girl getting harassed. Mm-hmm. Like, he was like, that's fucking it, not continuing. Yeah. Like, that shit's not happening here. And 8 people fucking died. I don't want to throw it on him, like, saying it's his fault, but, I mean... At what point are you just like, dude, you gotta stop?
Yeah, I know some of them didn't die in the concert.
Yes.
A lot of them died
like on the way to the hospital or at the hospital or something like that.
I also believe it was pretty much like it almost was described as like a stampede. Like everyone was running up to the stage and stuff, and that's where people got trampled to death as well. Yeah. At least some of them, maybe one. So like, I don't know. There's just so much weird stuff that happened. Did you see? We can keep going on to like this, but like, did you see the more positive note of it? Like the best thing that's kind of happened. Roddy Ricch said that he's going to donate all of his compensation.
Yeah,
everything that he's getting paid from.
Yeah, like what he profited.
He was donating it all to the families.
That's great.
Yeah, so, Travis needs to do that at least.
Yeah, I didn't listen to the video because I was too busy reading through the tweets because I saw some and I was like, what the fuck's going on? But I mean,
I saw a post like
kind of seems like a cycle of him valuing entertainment more than the safety of his fans because like you do have a certain response. Like I know a lot of his thing is like raging and shit like that, but like you
don't want people to die.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, because, I mean, I remember even watching, like, I didn't go, it was on Hulu, but, like, Playboy Cardi performing at Coachella. Yeah. People was having heat strokes and stuff, and he stopped multiple times to address it and stuff. But at what point do you just stop?
Yeah, what point do you cancel? And, like, what point does it become his fault versus does it become... Because, like, we can just look at the numbers, and it looks awful.
Yeah,
but, like,
people died. Like,
that's... But, like, you don't know... Because I heard... As soon as it happened, one of the first tweets that I seen discussing it was saying that Travis Scott knew about it. Like, they were telling him.
I saw that, too.
But it's like, how do you know? And, like, I didn't see anything that was, like, really definitive on it. And I'm like, maybe it's because I like Travis's music that I'm a little skeptical on it. But at the same point, I'm like,
what about seeing tweets like this? Because I saw the exact same stuff you did.
Yeah.
But now with stuff, like, I didn't know about this stuff.
No.
And taking this at face value that it's true, but it kind of adds a different perspective onto what just happened.
Yeah.
Because if both of these claims are true, then that seems like a kind of like a repetitive history of doing stuff like this.
Yeah, no, for sure. It just... it's hard to say like how much he actually knew at the time.
Yeah, well,
to play a little bit of devil's advocate on that part, like it's hard to say like he knew people were at that point of injury to call the show, but like even if he knew that like 3 people were like taken to the hospital, you should probably be like something
he for sure saw one of them.
Yeah, and so he for sure knew more than enough to address it to more of an extent than he did.
Yeah, there's people getting carried out on stretchers, and he kept performing. Like, because that's what they was commenting under the tweet. They was like, oh, yeah, that dude seemed like he really, that's what, so I'm just devastated. And I won't play the full thing, but you can kind of, like, he's just doing that a lot. And, I mean, I'm not going to criticize the dude for doing that. I mean, I, for one, need to, like, keep my hands busy. And that's a very stressful thing, so he might just kind of not know what to do, and just like Ricky Bobby, like I don't know what to do with my hands, but he's just So
Astroworld put out an apology, then like a written apology, then he put out a written apology, and a lot of people were like, "What a coward! What a bitch! Why can't he just say it himself?" And then he put out this video, so it almost seems like he's just trying to do whatever's the best for PR, and he's just trying to stay on top of it, not to take too long, but he's like. He's seeming like he's trying to address it. Honestly, I would be like 100% like he is absolutely a piece of shit. He's done like he doesn't give a fuck if they didn't cancel day 2.
Yeah,
like then we're looking at it like it's for sure.
We'll look at it. And take the same step that Roddy Ricch did. I didn't mean to smile when you were saying that, but I was looking at the picture. I hope you put this up so people will understand why I was smiling. But this was fucking hilarious.
I say screenshot and make sure you send them to me. Okay. But yeah. That picture's crazy.
Kept singing while people are being resuscitated, and that's why I was talking about him being high in the air and clearly in view of somebody. I mean, you're above the crowd. That's what somebody commented. They was like, "Well, you've never been on stage." I doubt the person who made that comment has ever been either. But he was like, "You don't know what they see up there. What is visible to them,"
which is fair.
From that view, he definitely saw. Like, this isn't like a regular stage. The dude was in the nosebleeds. Yeah, I was going to say,
what that person said was very fair. Yeah. I've never been on stage. Yes. I don't know what they see.
Yeah, yeah. If somebody was getting stampeded in the middle of a mosh pit, it's very likely that you're not seeing it. Yeah. But he is up there very high, clear view of everybody, knows that's going on. Yeah. Now, I don't know how serious of a thing he's aware it is, but I mean the dude's getting carried out on a stretcher, so at the very least you kind of have to know it's somewhat serious. No. He really said, "I'm just so devastated by this." But I don't want to keep running the dude through the mud if we don't really know what is actually going on. Yeah, it is good that he addressed it.
How do you think this will affect him? Like, do you think that at the end of this, like, we'll see his music not do as well? Do you think nothing will change? Do you think that, like...
At the end of the day, I mean, R. Kelly kind of shows it doesn't matter how shitty of a person you are. Not saying he's shitty because I don't really know. Yeah. But I don't think that stuff's going to affect your streams. Yeah. I don't think it's going to affect anything. I just think going into the future, people are going to have, like, a point of, like, concern, or like if things happen in the future, they're going to have something to reference and be like, well, it kind of looks like this because this happened and he didn't really say anything then. So I wonder, it's just going to be like a point of reference to like you're kind of getting to know the guy in a bad way. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to affect his streaming numbers. It may affect like his ties with like depending on how the future goes. Like
McDonald's.
He's a very mainstream guy. Yeah. Like one of the most mainstream rappers right now.
Yeah, I mean, top 5 most mainstream.
Yeah, I mean, you saw his concert in Fortnite. I mean, he has meals with McDonald's. I mean, he's pretty much as mainstream.
PlayStation collab.
Yeah. He's pretty much as mainstream as you can get.
I wonder if, honestly, what I can see happening is that there's no more Astroworld Fest or whatever it's called.
Yeah, or
I could see like that being shut down, which is like that's crazy that 8 people die and they're just like, all right, we'll cut the festival every year.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say, like, maybe at least this year, cancel it is probably a pretty good thing to cancel it. But, I mean, if it happened, I mean, if he was to do it again in the future, I wouldn't be like, oh, that piece of shit's going for it again. But, like, if there was, like, clearly different safety policies implemented.
Yeah. They said that, so another thing that I seen, the first time one of the biggest issues was like the railings were fucked up, like they were too easy to get through, break, and there was a lot of security problems. Yeah. And so they bumped it up a lot for year 2. So they took some safety initiatives to fix things, but it just it seemed like it got worse.
What the fuck's an 8-year-old doing there, dude?
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild. I mean, obviously don't want to say too much. I don't know the circumstance on why he was there. Maybe his parents didn't know he was going. Or, I don't know. Maybe his parents were there and thought it'd be okay since they were there. But, I mean, either way, it sucks.
I mean, I hope the families are doing all right. I couldn't imagine, even if I was just like, hey, yeah, you can go to this concert. Yeah. Like, because, the kids probably like, hey, this is the guy I seen on Fortnite, the guy in the McDonald's commercial. Yep. And you're like, you can go see him. Like, you're probably not expecting it to be what it was. And so.
Yeah. And I mean, who are we to say how people process it? But for him to seem pretty disingenuous with his apology, considering a kid died there. I think there was actually a couple of, the Travis Scott concert, so I'm assuming it's like a lot of teens and like younger people. I would have never expected 8, but like you said, he has the Fortnite crowd too, which is kids for the most part. So
definitely, he definitely has a younger audience, and so
yeah. So I mean, that's just wild. Obviously, I hope it's not him not caring about people. It just happens to be a tragedy, but you never know.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, his actions will show from here on.
Yeah. Right now, it's not looking good. But
no, the more we're seeing, the more it's looking bad.
Yeah. So, I don't know why I try to force everything that we talk about to be related. But I was going to say, like, maybe on the same note as, like, actions will show. I mean, we saw somebody whose actions did kind of show last night, Colby.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
In a pretty exciting night for there not being, at least out of the main 3. I mean, one dude did get fucking spider kicked in the face, which is a pretty crazy way for anything to end, really. I mean,
that was an early prelim.
Was it? No, I'm talking about Frankie Edgar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the dude who just got kicked straight in the, uppercutted with the dude's foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying that's a pretty crazy way for like anything to end. Like
I thought you were talking about the heavyweight fight.
Oh no, not the spinning kick, but also crazy. I genuinely, my bad because like I misjudged a book because of its big cover. Yeah, but
so did the other guy.
I wouldn't have expected either. I'd be like, "What's he doing?" Oh shit! Like it's coming towards me. He's
way.
Picking up a lot of speed. But like, yeah, I don't know before I started watching like mixed martial arts, because I always watch stuff like that was like scripted, like WWE, or I watched stuff that like I did watch boxing a little bit growing up, to where like you never have to worry about a kick.
Yeah,
but I always figured that like if you get kicked in the face during a fight, then you was a really bad fighter. Because I always assumed that I was like, dude, if you see a foot coming at you and you can't do anything from the time that the dude's standing to where you see him one leg and then he kicks you in the face, like you definitely have enough time to get away from that.
Well, I also thought the same thing because, like, if I throw a kick up in the air, I know how long that takes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that was a full second.
Yeah.
Like, you have a full second. They don't.
Yeah, that's because our point of reference has always been like us and people in our bubble. We're like, dude, if my buddy wants to kick me in the face, dude, I would just push him. Yeah. like I would just throw him off balance. I'd
finish sending the text and then push him over. Like I have that much time.
Yeah. Like and growing up, I always felt that like even just looking at somebody, for the most part, I could probably assume like if things went down, I could probably. I'd be all right.
If you could win or lose the fight.
Shut up, nerd. Like, look at you. Look how small you are. But, I don't know, the UFC has made me, just MMA in general has made me call into question, like, how true that is. Because, size does matter, but at what point does it not matter? Like, I don't know. You see Bob Sapp get his ass whooped, like, every other week now. Yeah. The dude's lost so many fights, and he's genuinely one of the biggest people I've ever seen. He's like 300 pounds and he has a 6-pack.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Well,
no, it's
there is a way it makes sense, but but I don't know. So it's just wild seeing these people that are like 100. I don't know what the smallest division in men's is. It's featherweight, flyweight.
I don't know.
Is featherweight not even around anymore? I think Brenden Moreno is the smallest men's fighter. But it's crazy thinking about like that dude, like 140 pounds, 130.
I think so.
It's just crazy just because if you just saw that guy, you would immediately assume that, like, dude, I would beat that nerd's ass. But no. Like,
flyweight.
Flyweight. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just wild seeing all that but you just kind of realize that, like, these are pros. Like
125.
125.
That's so small.
That's how much my girlfriend weighs, like, around that area. So that's pretty fucking wild. But, I mean, it was, last night was pretty, I mean, really good, actually.
Yeah. So we can talk about a couple of the prelims. Because there's, I mean, they were all good. But
yeah, Izzy might be shitting his pants somewhere.
So there was a guy who has beat Izzy before Izzy was a UFC
Twice,
fighter.
Right?
I think so.
Yeah, and he actually, like, knocked him out.
Yes. And that dude got bullied for a whole round. Yeah. Just getting thrown on the ground. Yeah. And
he hasn't fought too many MMA fights, in all fairness.
I think this was his debut in the UFC.
Yeah. I think he maybe fought 3 MMA fights, but in the UFC, this was his debut.
And then he comes into the second round, walks up, throws a flying knee, fight's over.
Dude,
crazy.
It was devastating, too.
We saw the number 11th ranked of that division lose to an unranked 26-year-old from the 13th ever crucifix position knockout.
Oh my god,
crazy!
Yeah,
like crazy. Yeah. Like
it was it was a pretty wild night. I mean, you're kind of guaranteed for that when you have like AG and Chandler
a part of it. Off.
Yeah, to kick it off, which I mean, they was asking Dana if they think he's going to keep doing that in the future. Yeah, but I don't know. What I mean, would you? I don't.
Yes.
I mean, it's neat, but I don't know if it's like.
I'm assuming, and because I don't know, but I'm assuming you pull in more ratings faster. Yeah. So like you get because he's made comments in the past a lot of times that like he can watch those numbers grow as the fight goes. Yeah. On this one, it almost seemed like even the way he talked, it was high, and then by the end, it was just as high, if not just a little higher. But you don't see that growth versus. You probably don't want to. You probably want the pay-per-view numbers to be great the whole fucking time.
Well, I always have pretty good timing. So it just so happened that one of the only times I could ever think of where one of the 3 main fights started early. And because of that, I almost missed that fucking fight. Yep. The only time that's happened, of course, it's this time. Yes. But I was still able to catch it. I watched it my entire way home. Mm-hmm. Yes, I was driving. Yes, I hit some deer. But I saw... I heard it for the most part because there was obviously points I couldn't see. But I could see the road, but I couldn't see my phone. So I wanted to make that clear.
I think that was Fight of the Night.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. They really did deliver.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of excitement, the Rose and Wei Li one wasn't that entertaining. The only reason I found enjoyment from it is because I really like Rose, and I swear to God, I got to stop betting against her. She has fucked every single bet that I've thrown on her.
Yeah. But so you got Gaethje right. I got it wrong because I took Chandler. Yeah. And then
I said I was pulling more towards Colby, but I ultimately kind of thought Usman was going to win that. But I was just. I was kind of hoping because I just thought it was just going to make shit so much more interesting if Colby wins. Because now it's just Usman, and I think he's got maybe like a fight or two before he starts doing a victory lap. Maybe
he already has. I mean, he's already doing.
He was already halfway there. Yeah. So I mean, the dude's pretty much.
Colby called out Jorge.
Good. That's exactly why I wanted him to win, but I don't think Jorge's going to get past Leon.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So maybe the losers of that will fight. Yep. The winners of that will fight. Yep. I don't know where that put Hamzat or Cumshot, as Colby calls them. I think genuinely one of my favorite nicknames.
I don't know who else is in that division, really. The welterweight division. Who's the top 5 of the? He could fight Burns. He could fight Gilbert Burns.
There's Burns. There's Wonder Boy.
He could fight either of them, and that's a good setup.
The dude who was the backup for them. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but he was the backup for them. He actually didn't make weight.
We think that because we both said this, we think that he has 2 fights. He needs to
Yeah.
He needs 2 fights more, and then he'll be ready to fight for a belt.
Yeah, I think 1 is kind of it's kind of a stretch.
Yeah.
Because
he was unranked, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, and I think the dude he fought was like, what, 11 or something? Something like kind of towards the bottom tier of the rank.
Yeah. So he fights... He fights probably Wonder Boy.
He's probably going to get a Islam treatment. He's going to get another fight, get thrown into the top 5, and maybe he'll fight somebody else in the top 5, or maybe by that time they'll be like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, so I think he should have. I have had a little piece of tortilla stuck in my fucking throat, and it's just not going anywhere. I figured it would disintegrate by now. I can't. I have swallowed aggressively. I have just gagged. None of this is sounding good. Out of context Twitter page is going to be crazy.
I can't wait for it.
But
yeah, that's good.
I just but yeah. So I mean I kind of just. After every fight I do, honestly, but I kind of just wonder where everybody is. Like, I wonder where Wei Li's going to be now. I mean, because she did just lose 2 times in a row. But I mean, it is to the champ. But I mean, what happens if she wins her next fight? So just seeing where everybody's going to be after this is going to be pretty wild. Mm-hmm. I don't know who. I mean, the lightweight division, I'm not really too worried about because I feel like there's always something. Like you could literally anybody is.
Gaethje's for sure fighting for the belt.
He should. I'll say because Dana said he doesn't like making fights on the night of a fight. But I was like, dude, you should. Like he should get that.
Yeah.
I mean, he just beat the dude who fought for the title. Like, I mean, I think that's
and he's
definitely worthy.
He's the number 2, and your number 1 is fighting for the belt.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be Dustin still. So I think it's going to be Dustin and Gaethje, and maybe that opens.
You think Dustin's going to win,
and maybe that opens up Islam and Oliveira, which again we was talking about earlier as kind of our more favorable matchup stylistically. Yeah, but then if whoever wins between, assuming that it's Dustin and Justin, and I'm assuming Islam, then stylistically that still favors Islam. I just think he's going to be champion, and there's really not much that's going to stop him.
Yeah, we think pretty similar. We think the same thing at the end, but we don't think it'll be the same. Yeah. I think Oliveira beats Dustin. I think Oliveira beats Justin, and then I think Oliveira can beat Islam.
You really hold that dude in high regards.
I think he's the best of that division, other than Islam.
Yeah,
I think Islam beats him.
I mean, fuck, you see Chandler almost took him down, and
I mean,
I know UFC fights don't make sense. Like, just because you beat this person doesn't mean you're going to beat this person, or vice versa. But I mean,
Oliveira's a wrestler, and he rocked Chandler like that. So I mean, that's a lot of credit on his part.